I want to say it is a real joy to be here. I want to talk about Jim and Marilyn in a moment, but I want to first say it is a joy to be here because exactly what Jim said. I watched with each of my children, from pre-K to kindergarten all the way to the end of high school, in the New York City Public Schools, and the experience they had. Dante and Chiara got an extraordinary education from educators who were so committed, so involved, so much our partners in helping our children grow. And I'm not trying to present, a nirvana to you and say everyone's experience is the same or everyone's experience is perfect. I'm trying to just give you a very personal perspective. That for Charlene and I, we got to see what it meant to have teachers in our lives who loved what they did, for whom it was a passion, it was a life calling, like so many of you. And I often make the analogy that in the time I was growing up, in the 1960s, it was very simple in this country. If you wanted to think about who was being put on a pedestal and who was referred to all the time as the people to look up to, the people to honor, this was the age of NASA and the astronauts. And kids grew up knowing everything about the astronauts. And there was a sense that there was a deep, deep relevance to the space program. Why do I say that? Because in this time, when what will determine our future is education, the people look up to our teachers. And you will not get the same fame as the astronauts. It will be a different kind of recognition, I hope. I hope it will be a deeper and citywide and society-wide recognition that the way forward is through education. And therefore, someone has to have the commitment and the passion and the belief to do that work and to do it right. And my hope is, as our society increasingly understands that education is the key to so many of the things that we have to address, that there'll be a deeper understanding, a deeper tendency to honor our teachers. Now, I love that tonight is about honoring our teachers. And I give Jim and Marilyn such credit, not just for what they've done with Math for America and the amazing commitment and generosity, but how many times have you been to a dinner where someone just wants to say thank you? Right? This whole event is not a fundraiser, it's just thank you for who you are and what you do. And that is beautiful. I got to speak with Jim and Marilyn a few months back, and it was so obvious to me that they saw something that many others had missed, which is admirable unto itself. They saw how much we had to foster and support our math and science teachers to get it right in this country. Overall, we had to foster math and science teachers. But then they had the audacity to do something about it and take responsibility. No one ordained that they had to be the ones to figure this out. They decided to do it and created Math for America. So I just want to say to Jim and Marilyn, this is the kind of thing, what you've done. You're sending out so many, not just ripples of hope, to use the classic phrase, but you are affecting hundreds of thousands of young people, and then they will go on to better futures, and a whole new generation's lives will be better because of what you created with Math for America. Let's thank them. also want to take this moment to thank John Ewing for being one of the best stand-up comics I've seen in a long time. How much math shtick can you get into a brief set of remarks? It's amazing. Corny math jokes. What a specialty. So, well done, John. Let me just play out a point. I'll be quick, but I want to say this to you that, you know, in a world where we're searching for ways to create opportunity for people and fairness for people, in a world that is grappling with the issue of how you create a more fair and equal society, well, all of you are on the cutting edge of that question, because in the 21st century, the skills you're teaching are the skills that will create real opportunity. And I talked to, when I first became mayor, a number of people in the tech community, and they made a powerful point that, thinking in terms of language, if our young people don't get real ability in math and science, I would certainly add computer science to that as well, if they don't have ability and comfort with those subjects, they will not thrive in the 21st century. It is the language in the main street of this century. And you are providing that open door. You're providing that opportunity. It has everything to do with people, young people being able to reach their potential. It has everything to do with this city being able to be all it can be in the future, and this nation, in fact. If we're going to be strong, if we're going to be competitive in the world, what you are doing hits so many notes. It hits notes that range from social justice to economic strength and stability. You're right in the center of the action. And I think there was a stereotype for too long about teachers, a misunderstanding that created teachers or portrayed teachers as part of a status quo that was broken. I see teachers as change agents. I see teachers as the people who take a status quo that wasn't working for so many young people and are the transcendent figures. And I saw that, again, I saw that in my own children's lives. Shirley and I were very involved, very committed parents, but we could do a lot, but there were things that teachers could do that we couldn't, and we saw so vividly how our children strengthened, just how their intellects and their critical thinking just strengthened all the time through the wonderful schools they went to and the teachers they had, by the way, several of whom are here tonight. Two of Dante's teachers from Brooklyn Tech, Amy Hogan and Kay Siriani. We thank you. Principal Randy Asher is here too. We thank you. Just to say that Dante did pay attention in those classes. But if you were to go to New Haven right now, you would find him deep in philosophy and history books. So at least he's deep in books. Look at the right side, even if they're not math books. But the point to me is so much good happens because of all of you. Now we have to create an environment where you can thrive. And part of that is the great work for Math for America, but part of it is what we're trying to do in the schools in general. And a simple concept, and I'll be brief, but I want you to hear this because it's so important for this city. It's called equity and excellence. And it simply says this is what we need to shoot for. Excellent schools. Excellent schools in all neighborhoods, in all zip codes. Three easy examples, one which will find a warm reception in this room. We are helping our young people to understand if they want bright futures, they have to master algebra. arguably the single least popular element of my platform. Every child should master algebra by 9th grade, and it opens the doors to so many other things. And that's in every school, in every neighborhood. Computer science for all, that will reach children in every part of this city. And finally, one that moves me so deeply because it speaks to how we address inequality head-on. Everyone in this room knows Brooklyn Tech, for example, a wonderful, wonderful school, and a school where, for generations, the assumption was there would be advanced placement courses. Everyone expected it. Everyone got ready to take advantage of it. And they knew if they walked in the doors of that great school that the sky was the limit. And then there were high schools all over the city, many in communities of color, many in communities that were not so well off, where they never saw an advanced placement course. Under Equity and Excellence, we have a simple concept. Every high school in New York City must have advanced placement courses. Every single one, because it sends a message to everyone, that we have to reach that level of excellence. We have to give the young people ready to aim that high a pathway, and it communicates to every young person that college is within their grasp. I mean, we know college is not for everyone. We know some kids will choose a different path, but isn't it incumbent upon us to send a message early in their lives that they have that potential, and we will open that door for them? And we feel that this pathway will change this city, change our schools. Thanks to so many of you, we see real progress. Graduation rates are going up, test scores are going up, so much more to do. But we believe our schools are getting better all the time, and the reason is you. And I'll conclude with this, because I think it's difficult to stand in front of any group of civically minded people and not reference at all the times we're living in. But I will be scrupulously bipartisan, which is very difficult at this moment. Some of you know I met with the president-elect on Wednesday. That was an interesting experience. But Paul, but here's what I can say. My message was, and I tried to deliver it with real respect, but my message was that, okay, those cocktails are having too much effect here. That a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are worried. A lot of people are concerned. And they're concerned because they heard too many things that spoke of a society that would not be welcoming, would not be inclusive. And the reason I raise it here is simple. What you do every day is an exemplar of a free and open and inclusive society. You don't turn away any child because of their background or where they come from. There is no religion test to get into any one of your courses. And we don't feel like someone is lesser because they were born in another country. Those are the ideals of New York City public education, that it's for everyone. It's for everyone, and your job is to help everyone succeed. And in a typical New York City classroom, you see not perfect harmony, I'm sure, but you see something unimaginable in many parts of the world. You look around your room and see children from all different countries. You see a Muslim child sitting next to a Christian child, sitting next to a Jewish child, and everyone believes they belong together. So when you go back to work on Monday, wow, that's not even funny. You are intending to go to work on Monday, right? President-elect talked about his new teacher truancy police. And no, that's a joke, that's a joke. But when you go back to work, a lot of nervous laughter there. When you go back to work Monday, remember, the way to keep our nation moving forward, the way to reiterate our values and deepen them is by leading by example, by showing it to the world, by making sure that this city remains an antidote to the hatred. And I can say from the bottom of my heart, you all represent what is best about us. Thank you, and God bless you all.